Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for a very late night review. It is about 2 o'clock in the morning where I am right now. Come to you for this live Raw review. I was going to wait to do this in the morning, but I thought, you know what? Just get out of the way because that's just my thing. Just get out of the way with. So I'm going to do this live Raw review. Now, I did not watch Raw live tonight. I actually more so just, schemed through and whatnot because I actually went out and visited some friends tonight. So that's why I didn't get to catch Raw live. But I did catch, the good gist of it for the most part, pretty much. And overall, I gotta say, from what I saw, I thought it was a pretty strong show. Last week's was just, a little bit weird, but overall, it was still, had me a little intrigued, at least for WrestleMania. This episode got me a little bit more excited for WrestleMania as we got some matches announced tonight that I really think that were really good additions to the card, and I'm hoping that some other things that happen on the show could lead to good things as well for some other matches as well. So good job by Team Red tonight. Let's just get right into it. If anybody's in the live chat, that'll be cool. If not, it's okay because this is coming late. Understand, just leave your thoughts down in the comment section afterwards. But I will be live tomorrow night for SmackDown. Definitely tonight. Just need to get out, see some friends, and just clear my head. But let's get right into it. So we opened up with Kurt Angle coming out, and he wants to get serious for a second to start, talking about how he's had to swallow his pride multiple times. And as Stephanie, man, as he said it, taught him as manager, you have to do what's best for business. But last week, Triple H went too far when he sucker punched him in the face, so he's not going to just pretend like everything's okay. He doesn't care. Triple H is COO. He wants him to come out right now and face him like a man. Stephanie comes out and tells Angle to calm down, and Triple H isn't even there yet, and she reminds Kurt of his kids, and he admits his youngest is one, at which point she twists the knife, talking about his little girl's beautiful blue eyes and how he wants to buy her everything, and since he's remarried, his alimony payment has to be pretty steep. So she switches tactics and tries to putting him over, reminding him that he's one of not many Olympic gold medalists, and he won that medal with a broken neck. She mentions his Hall of Fame status and his 4 WWE championship reigns before getting to the point and asking if they pay the bills. She provides her own answer and says they don't, but being GM does, so he should think about it for a second. It's not like Hunter wasn't provoked last week. Angle ruined the biggest contract signing in WWE history and got Triple H put through a table. She wants to take a pause and get on the same page and get him to know his role and think of the possibilities and not let his ego get in his way. But before he can answer that, of course, Ronda came out and she slaps hands with a bunch of fans on her way in. And Stephanie points out that she missed somebody, but Ronda tells whoever it is, she'll get them. As she says that what they did to Kurt Angle last week was very enlightening, and she's starting to realize that the people that got here aren't who she thought they are. But that's fine. She's dealt with bully bosses her whole career, and she'll take it her own way. And Stephanie says she gets lots of people that don't understand, but they just have to take their orders to do what they're told. She also reminds Ron she signed a contract with the company and that makes her part of the WWE and part that Stephanie oversees, which we expected Stephanie to pretty much say all that to Ronda. Hey, what's up, TN Couponer? I just briefly got to see the highlights, as I said, would be in this video and whatnot, because I went out and visited some friends tonight. But I thought tonight we had a pretty darn strong show. I do recommend checking it out. Thanks for joining me in this live chat for this late night review. But anyway, Steph says she lays it in thicker, and they're going to give Ronda her dream, her WrestleMania moment, giving her her debut match at WrestleMania. It doesn't get any better than that, right? But Ronda says she's thankful for that and says her contract says she got to pick the opponent. And Stephanie confirms with saying that it can't be a champion, it has to be a member of the active roster. So Stephanie's like, it's like asking for a drum roll, but the drum roll barely even started before Ronda said she wants it to be Stephanie. And then Stephanie's like, no, you can't. I'm not a member of the active roster. And then Triple H's music, Triple H comes out, of course. And he says, of course, this is not happening. And then Angle has to stop pretending to be a tough guy and just do his job. He says she's an executive, the commissioner. And Kurt points out that Hunter wasn't supposed to be here. And Hunter just acts like I guess it was just a surprise. And Angle admits he's right. Stephanie is a WWE executive, and she has a contract to say that. but she also has a second contract, and that second contract is as a WWE superstar. And he makes the matches. So he makes the match that Stephanie will be facing Ron at WrestleMania. But Curtis says not going to be it, though. He knows somebody else has a second contract, which is talking about Triple H. He said after Survivor Series, after what Triple H did there, he made it known that if Triple H ever attacked him again, he's coming for him. So, Ron, as long as you're okay with it, he's going to make a mixed tag match. So, of course, everybody was like, happy with that. Stephanie looks shocked and starts, John pointing at it without even using the mic, and she goes to slap Kurt, but then Ronda catches her, and then Triple H gets in there and just breaks it off and begs that they don't like go down this way, and then he goes to sucker punch Angle again, like he did last week. No offense, that sucker punch last week to the shoulder was weak looking, but then Angle fights back, and he takes him up with him to the Angle lock. Then Triple H kicks out into the turnbuckles, and Stephanie comes from behind with a forearm to the back of Ronda, where she's standing there, trying to pretend she knows a strong fighter, like just bounce back and forth, just like how they built Stephanie to be, just build her to be that woman you just want to hate, oh yeah, I'm all talk, I'm tough, and whatnot. And Ronda gets up, and Stephanie's like, and she gets out and just runs away. So she runs into the crowd to get away. And then Triple H goes into the kick and pedigree Angle, but he reversed into the Angle lock, and Stephanie saves Triple H. But then Ronda reaches over and pulls her up from the hair onto the apron, and she's begging Ronda off, but she lifts her and hits her with like a fireman's carry Samoa drop. I know some people thought it looked kind of weak. It looked a little bit flat, but again, Ronda's still learning this part of the business still. So just give her time. She's going to put on a great show at WrestleMania, I feel. So then that Samoan drop, and then Angle and Rousey head off together, and yeah, so we got a pretty strong opening segment of the mixed tag match between Rousey, Angle, and Triple H and Stephanie's official. Should be a fun match. A lot of people are saying soon. I do agree. I was surprised that Stephanie and Ronda did get a little bit physical on each other tonight. That sounds a little odd saying, but you know what I mean. I thought they may say that for a little bit later, but it's pretty obvious that's what's going to happen. But for once, you see Stephanie get her comeuppance, as we just don't get to see that often at all, except for around this time of the year. But it feels good to see it when it happens. So then we had the next match. We had Asuka take on Nia Jax. I don't get why we did this match again, though, since they just did it at Elimination Chamber, but whatever. The match was decent. Asuka and Nia are usually able to put on pretty good matches for the most part, at least, solid to decent. And I feel like this is where, I feel like Nia and Asuka just bring out the best in each other. Even though, as I said the past few weeks, Nia Jax has definitely shown improvements in the ring and as a character also as well. I felt this also did build up to an interesting match. I'll definitely share a little bit later, but I definitely would like to see them more just go all out a little bit more with Nia Jax and not making it look like she takes it easy sometimes, just half-asses it. It's like she's a big dominating monster. You can definitely have her tear someone to shreds, but sometimes it feels like that they just hold back on her and just like makes sense. She thinks it's so easy. Well, if she's losing how many times, then why should we believe that? The times when she's throwing Asuka around like she did after she lost Elimination Chamber or whatnot. But once again, Asuka works her down very well, and she got her to tap out with a cross arm breaker, and then Nia has troubles getting herself together. Just her arms all busted up and in pain after she really made Asuka earn that tap out. But she eventually gets up and she leaves. We will definitely talk about Nia Jax though in a little bit as well. I'm surprised to see this match already. We had a match between the Bar versus the Revival. Wasn't a bad match, but it was one of those matches to me watching it. It showed that the Revival still haven't reached that level yet. And continuing that storyline with the Bar saying that there really isn't anybody left in the face, which to me is pretty much true. I mean, they've already feuded with Gallows and Anderson. They beat the Revival. They beat Titus Worldwide. I'm just pretty sure not going to be facing Heath Slater and Rhino at WrestleMania. So I really am starting to think that it's starting to set the storyline where there's nobody going to be able to fight the Bar. I mean, I don't know. Again, with what's going on with the brand specific pay-per-views being dropped, I don't know. Maybe the WWE is going to pull the trigger on merging the tag team and the women's titles, which I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's possible. My other option, I feel like it's going to establish for obviously Pain to take on them at WrestleMania, honestly, because this coming week, I believe AOP and TM61 have the first match for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I really don't see Authors of Pain getting that far. I mean, I was surprised that they're having the match between TM61 and AOP this early, but I think they should just have it be AOP at this point taking on the Bar at WrestleMania 34. I mean, good way to jumpstart the AOP's careers at these big dominating monsters and put them on Raw, which that's what I feel needs more established tag teams that having a story behind them or something like that. SmackDown at least does have an established, believable tag teams that could win. Raw doesn't really, so I feel like the Bar could definitely benefit from having a team like AOP facing them at WrestleMania at this point. TM Coupons, I think it will be Asuka and Charlotte and Nia versus Alexa at Mania. I'm starting to think that too, and I will talk about that because I do think tonight they are again, as I keep saying, I don't mind any matches taking place. Just give me a story. Give me a reason to want to see the matches. And I think we did see that tonight with something involving Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. So I will get into that. Yes, hey Lauren, sorry this review is late. Again, I was out tonight visiting some friends and I just caught Raw late, so I'm just trying to get this in before I go to bed really quick, so I don't have any reason to get up that early tomorrow morning. But I don't sleep in that late anyways. Yeah, the Bar won. Surprisingly, we see Cesaro hit the Gotch neutralizer on Dawson. I haven't seen Cesaro or the Bar at all win a match at all with the Gotch neutralizer. Was kind of surprised. Lauren said Raw was kind of interesting. I like the mixed tag match made at Mania. Gold doesn't see a storyline, made no sense to me, but oh well. Yeah, that was a little bit random. I'll get into that shortly. Yeah, let's continue on. Actually, we're going to get into that right now. To a surprise, I was surprised as well too. John Cena showed up tonight on Raw. I wasn't expecting Cena to show up on Raw since he felt his options were, out on Raw from getting in the Mania, so he was going to go to SmackDown and see what he did there. Well, he did say that that it's weird saying he's here, but he says since it's not really easy to say what he needs to say on SmackDown because he knows that Corbin, Ziggler, Owens, and Zayn, all of them could come out and interrupt him, so he wants to say this without being interrupted. He's going to be fighting in the six-pack challenge at Fastlane for the title, and he has to say tonight the Sunday is going to be a record that has stood for nearly 20 years. People don't like it, but the truth is brutal, and it'll happen. He's going to become the 17-time champion this Sunday, but records are meant to be broken, and this is his only road to WrestleMania. He's been criticized for having everything handed to him and holding him back, but he says he wasn't given success. He was given a chance, which he was given a chance to get into the match. It wasn't Cena, just being handed some to him. He earned his opportunity after he beat AJ Styles in the ring. He's never been the guy to hold anybody back, as he claims. When he wins, he knows people are going to criticize him for robbing Styles for his WrestleMania moment. Nope, he's encouraging Styles though to make the WrestleMania moment greater by using his rematch clause and having it being him, Nakamura, Cena, Nakamura, and Styles at WrestleMania, which could be a good match, I feel. But I just want to see Styles and Nakamura. We've already seen Cena and Styles a few times, which they put on good matches, but Styles and Nakamura is just much more fresh here in WWE. So I'd rather see that happen. Let me see here. Let's see here. Nia Jax face turn for Mania. Definitely think it's going to happen. Um, oh, you've been sick, Lauren. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better, Lauren. Definitely. I know I just got over some, but yeah. Cena makes an appearance at Mania. It should be him and Nikki getting married. Oh boy, maybe they could happen. Um, yeah, probably gonna get married in Total Divas or Total Bellas. Ooh, bronchitis. Yikes. Yeah, definitely take good care of that, Laura. I definitely hope you feel better. That really sucks. Yeah, and she also kind of felt bad for Knives. And you know what? I think it all worked out, and it made people have sympathy for that. As I just said before. Well, first, let's get through the Cena and Styles thing first. Um, first before we get to Nia. But yeah, then Goldust comes out, and I'm like, Goldust is this guy now. 1 week he's babyface, 1 week he's heel. It's like, what are we doing here? Um, he he says he could have been a contender and he could have been somebody instead of a Burn, which is what he is and providing context from the on the waterfront 1954 during those director's cut things again. He says Cena's a leading man. He's always had a dream of sharing the silver screen with someone like Cena. Dream of still going to Spotlight at Mania, and that dream starts with stopping Cena from going to Mania, which he wasn't going to stop Cena from going to Mania unless he like literally took him out and injured him or something like that. All of his dreams are pretty little rainbows that turn gray and very evil. So Cena wants to compete for Telemania. That's his dream. But Goldust is taking control of the screen as his new director for his epic motion picture. And tonight, John Cena's dream will be shattered, and Cena's about to say something, but then Goldust knocks him down with a punch, and then we get John Cena and Goldust for the first time, apparently. Just a brief match that Cena just like, well, Goldust got some offense in them, but it's like, you really didn't expect Goldust to really take Cena to the limit. And definitely I was hoping this happened also. Goldust did not kick out of the AA, so John Cena beats him, so I'm like, all right. I mean, it was weird. I mean, yes, I get Cena. I mean, it made sense. Cena wanted to say what he had to say on Raw. He's going to be trying to do it on SmackDown. He get interrupted. But still, it was definitely a little bit of a weird segment, just a brief little match. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. We have Kurt Angle backstage on the phone. Elias comes up playing his guitar. He says he knows Kurt has had a busy night, but he thinks he needs to cancel the Symphony of Destruction match, as he understands the ring will be surrounded by musical instruments that shouldn't be wasted like that. Angle says he'll consider it and immediately calls the director back to say he's not canceling it. Elias says he'll be responsible for what he does to Braun, and Kurt adds the stipulation so that he would not run off. It's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match. So then we have Bayley making her entrance as interviewed in the ring ahead of her match. She says the Royal Rumble was everyone for herself, and so was the Elimination Chamber, but Sasha Banks, she halts a bit and says it's hard for her to say. Megan interrupted when Absolution comes in. Paige again congratulates her on finally growing a backbone and not needing Sasha to change her diaper anymore. But she says she's still a stupid little kid who pushed away the only person who cared about her. That strength in numbers in life of WWE is a lot easier when you have backup. We have Paige and Mandy Rose in a not too bad of a match at all. Absolution did their usual thing, trying to get involved, and then Bayley wins with a roll up on a side press, and then of course Mandy Rose gets in there, and just Sonya Deville gets in there, and her and Mandy starts beating down on Bayley, and Paige just stands there barking out orders because she can't get physical right now. But then Sasha came down there and she saved Bayley from Absolution. She accepts the hand victory that Sasha gave, putting her hand up, but then she just kind of shoved her away, and I'm just like, whoa, are they going to do the turn here now? It still made me wonder, who are they going to turn, Bayley or Sasha? I've heard the rumors about Bayley, which I'm not going to rule them out. I mean, I'll definitely give it a go if they do turn Bayley heel, but I definitely think Sasha needs to turn heel also too. One of them needs to turn heel this point. I want to see Sasha bring out. I just feel like she's run her course as a baby face, at least for now. I mean, if they do want to turn both of them heel, maybe put one on Raw, one on SmackDown to shake up, but one of them needs to turn heel by this point. And I think it's possible which one it was. I just feel like Sasha's ran her core personally as a baby face. I mean, in some ways they both kind of have. I mean, if you throw some more fresh opponents for them, which really who else is there really, that could help in some ways. But I feel like Sasha, needs to go back to, her heel days in NXT, I feel. But again, I won't rule out a Bayley heel turn either. But yeah, I definitely thought the turn was going to happen when this segment happened, but fortunately it did not. But that's okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's go up here. Go here. Cena, she still thinks Cena's facing Taker. Again, the story is kind of planned, I'd be fine with it. Steph's hair was weird tonight. Yes, it was. She still loves her, though. Always have, always will. I've never really been the biggest fan of Stephanie, but if you are, that's completely fine, Lauren. Happy Nia is getting a title shot instead of dating Enzo. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys, but that made me absolutely sick. And yeah, Cena and Goldust had like a really brief match. Yeah, I don't understand why the match really happened in general, but it could have at least put Cena up against somebody else, Goldust. You do about time. Nia deserves a good push after all she's been through since her main Raw debut. As I said before, she just feels like they just half-ass her sometimes when they could just go all out on her and she could be dominating. She thinks it's going to be Elias versus Braun at Mania. I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm worried still that they're going to put Elias and Braun. Well, Elias, I'd be okay with still being Andre the Giant, but I'm worried they're going to put Braun in the Andre the Giant, which he deserves so much better than that. She's thinking also that Bayley will be the one to turn heel since Sasha had her time already as a heel. Again, I'm completely fine. I'm exploring that as well. Character refresher for Bayley could be also. So will Cena be on SmackDown Live tomorrow? It is possible, probably since it's a go-home edition. She thinks Taker's going to appear at Fastlane. Sasha's only been face since 2016. Bayley's more, to be honest. That's fine. Are you attending Fastlane? Nope, Fastlane's not in my hometown. SmackDown is going to be here in a couple weeks, but I'm not going to be going to that. Triple H and Stephanie need to win at Mania instead of Ronda and Angle, to be honest. It would be interesting to see what would happen if they won instead. What did you think of the Roman and Paul segment? She didn't like it. That was too boring. I'll definitely get to that as well. Thank you for your questions as always. Let me just continue on here because it is getting a little bit late. So I'm going to keep going. But anyways, here was the segment. Yes. We had Nia backstage icing her elbow, and she's just looking down, and Alexa and Mickie James rolls up, which, once again, why is all of a sudden Mickie James still siding with Alexa Bliss as a heel? That does not make sense to me. It just, one day, it's like Mickie woke up on the wrong side of the bone. It's like, okay, I'm going to be friends with Alexa again. Why? There's no story to that. But there could be, though, with this going on. Alexa tells Mickie that she wants to do this by herself. She sits down to Nia, and she says she knows she's unbelievably disappointed that she lost at Chamber and tonight, and she's not going to WrestleMania. She knows how disappointed she is in herself and says it must be embarrassing, but she doesn't want Nia to feel like a failure. She tells Nia she has friends, and even though she's not on WrestleMania card, she knows that she'll be next year, and she shouldn't be ashamed. She should be proud of everything she's accomplished in such a short time, and look at what she's overcome. Her entire life, she's been an outcast, bullied, and scorned because she's so much bigger than the other kids. And Bliss sees how people look at Nia at the airport and says she can't let this keep her down because everyone will lose all respect for her. And that's Nia. And we get Nia just crying. It's like, again, Nia is being, put down here by Alexa Bliss in some ways. And it is, Nia's just frustrated because, she's just not getting where she wants to be. And, Alexa Bliss, obviously, even though her and Nia are good friends, she's obviously been cutting the corners, trying to sweet talk her because she's worried about getting on her bad side. Because Alexa knows that Nia can just squash her big time if she wanted to. So I think this was a good segment, like Tia Couponer and Lauren have both said in the live chat that this did definitely build some, babyface sympathy for Nia Jax, and it does plant seeds for a story. And because of that, I wouldn't mind seeing Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss go at WrestleMania. It would still be a little bit weird to me because Nia had an opportunity to get a title match against Asuka, but then she lost to Asuka, but she's still going to get a title match anyways. That is still a little bit strange, but, they planted seeds. If a story could work. I just hope that this is the case that Asuka does go on to face Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I feel like that would be, a bigger marquee match. And If it's not, um, well, if it still is Alexa and Nia, though, would there be a chance Carmella cashes in and steals the moment from them or something like that? And maybe we can have like a Nia and Carmella feud for the Raw Women's Championship. If they still keep the title split. I don't know. It's just I feel like Carmella's got to be cashing in sometime soon, either at Mania or at the night after Mania. I mean, they could pull a curveball and she could cash in the Charlotte and Asuka match, but I still would like to see Asuka at least get a good title reign before she's defeated for that first time. Because I feel like if they defeat her this soon, like she may not have a good direction after that. Because her whole character, as I said not too long ago on my top 10 topic shows, it feels like that Asuka's being built around this winning streak. So I just don't know what else what would happen to her if she had lost. She'd be treated just like another women's wrestler again, in my opinion. Let's see here. Let's see here. Any turns at Fastlane or on the road to Mania, I'll give you hers. My thoughts, Kabu. Sorry for asking so many questions. Hey, Lauren, don't ever apologize for asking questions. I don't mind answering them. Sometimes I just need some time to think about them, but I definitely don't mind asking a question at all. They probably turn Mickey heel because maybe she needs a storyline. Maybe it's because she's tricking Alexa and just to get a title shot. That's possible. Nia, Paige, Mickey are the most deserving women's title shot. Definitely, except Paige is hurt, unfortunately. Seth, Finn, and Braun are deserving of a universal title shot. Definitely, yes. You think Asuka could be going to SmackDown Live to challenge Charlotte or staying on Raw to face Alexa? I think it would be best for her to go to a SmackDown and face Asuka. Wow, Asuka facing Asuka, that'd be weird. Asuka facing Charlotte, that would be a good match for WrestleMania. Nia versus Alexa versus Mickey versus Asuka at Mania. Okay, that wouldn't be too bad. Carmella cashing in on Charlotte. Okay. Could be Charlotte versus Becky, then Carmella cashes in and subs at Mania. I'd be fine with that as well. Asuka could lose at Mania or pay-per-view after. Becky versus Charlotte. Yes, please. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Becky versus Charlotte at all. I just think for, Asuka's sake, I think the fresher match would be her and Charlotte, but I am not opposed to crap, I completely lost my train of thought. I won't be opposed to it, but I just think Asuka needs a more fresh match and like a bigger match. I just feel like, she doesn't have too many fresh matches on Raw right now. AJ heading to Raw, it could be possible, especially if Shinsuke wins the title. It could be like a passing a torch, like the big face for SmackDown. And, AJ could go on to Raw and get some fresh opponents as well. Seth heading to SmackDown and Finn maybe. And Orton heading to Raw. Well, since they do seem to swap, mid-card titles at least, what if they do have, either Seth or Finn win the Intercontinental title at Mania, and what if Orton defeats Bobby Roode for the U.S. title, and that's switched there because I wouldn't mind seeing Orton beat Bobby Roode for the U.S. title. I mean, I like both of them, but I think I wouldn't mind seeing that happening since they're going to switch brands. I do desperately think Orton needs to go to Raw. So I feel like he needs more fresh opponents as well. He'll get that on Raw as well. Roode can stay on SmackDown as I think I like Bobby Roode, but I still think they have definitely kind of gone a different route with his character. I still think both him and Orton, I think, do work better as heels. Honestly, like Bobby Roode is like another Miz. Like he's not really that entertaining as a heel, as a face. Like Miz can't be a baby face. Like his run in 2013 as a face was just flat. And I feel that's what's going on with Bobby Roode. I would much rather see Bobby Roode as the arrogant heel he was down in NXT, in my opinion. Nakamura versus Orton after WrestleMania for a title, I'd be fine. Who do you think will turn heel, Roode or Orton? Oh, it's very, very tough. I mean, again, one of them need to turn, no doubt about it. Oh man, I mean, maybe Orton because he's telling Bobby that this is just about him getting United States Championship and whatnot. I feel like it would be a little bit random with the storyline to have Bobby turn heel out of nowhere. I feel like Randy Orton, I kind of feel the build has been kind of there. He was held back for a while with dealing with the stuff with just doing Shane's dirty work, having him and Nakamura facing off against Owens and Zayn. He's just tired of get to the next step and he's just trying to find opportunities. Or maybe, sound childish, like what if he did snap because he felt that Bobby Roode was rated more than him and he wants to take the only title that's eluded him from him. I feel like at Fastlane, whether it's just Roode and Orton, or they do insert Jinder in there, because my goodness, if you do wait to have Jinder in a U.S. title match at Mania, staying calm. Sorry, I don't want to explode here. It's 2:30 in the morning. I don't want to wake anybody up in the house. But I do think the match at Fastlane, one of them will definitely turn heel. I think it may more likely be Orton, but if they go with Bobby, I won't be against that because either one should be a heel. But I feel like if anyone's more likely, I think it's going to be Orton, in my opinion, going to be turning heel. Let me see here. Orton definitely deserves to be a Grand Slam champion, but should happen at Mania, not Fastlane. Yeah, I mean, again, if they wait till Mania for him to win it, that's fine. Again, I just say, further the feud at Fastlane. Yeah, don't have Jinder in a title match at Mania. Put Jinder in the Battle Royal. Don't have me runner up like it was last year. Bobby Roode should turn heel instead of Orton, to be honest, but Roode has given signs of turning on Orton, though, it's going to be possible. Yeah, hopefully Jinder will be in the Battle Royal. Definitely. You're good. I'm tired, but not exhausted. Oh, well. Yeah. Jinder interfering at Fastlane with Roode retaining. I don't want Jinder being involved. Oh yeah, that would definitely piss a lot of people off. It would piss me off as well. Heck, I'm polishing these fingers right here every time Jinder comes out, because every time it comes out, I go, I got the tension for doing that one time in high school, but I don't want to go there. Anyways, but getting back to this, but yes, definitely thought this was a great promo to build some babyface sympathy and make Nia Jax carry one. Again, Nia Jax feels like she's always getting somewhere, but to me, it's like she's 6 feet tall and 272 pounds. She's as tall as me, but just a little bit bigger. She could squash me like a bug, for crying out loud. She's almost 100 pounds more than me. Like, for crying out loud, like, she's so size. Like when she rammed Alicia Fox to the barricade, she did the same thing to Asuka. I'm like, that's something different we don't see. Why don't they just go out with her? All out with her. Oh man. But anyways, yes, I've ranted a lot about that. But anyways, we have Braun Strowman getting a handicap promo talking how Elias is going to get these hands and start the countdown to his extinction. And Elias is walking around backstage. And then it comes time for Elias to sing us his song. See it at the piano. He does his usual thing, and he says he loves symphonies. They're classy and sophisticated. You can see he plays a lot of instruments, in fact, and unlike Braun, he's not a one-trick pony. He can do it all, and he punctuates that statement by playing the drums for a moment. And Strowman may be a monster among men, but he's in Elias's world. And he's going to find out that WWE stands for Walk with Elias and launches into a song for the night on a guitar about being on Raw and getting ready for Braun and how Milwaukee sucks and he can't stand anyone who lives there. I don't want to say that completely, even though I used to be a big Brewers hater. My one good friend Donnie lives out there, so I don't want to crap on the town because I do have all respect for him as well. He then proceeds to demand a second spotlight entrance, but when the light comes on, he's of course taken off for a crowd, so he knows he's dead meat. He goes to the back arena and gets to his car, tries to pull out, and he's trying to hit the gas, but nothing's happening. He's not moving or anything. And he looks in the rearview mirror, and there's Braun holding the car in place, telling he's not going anywhere, and he's not finished with him. And Elias gets out to run away, but as always, Braun just starts chasing him, and I just start cracking up. I don't know why. Ever since that segment with Braun returning in the garbage truck and chasing the Miz, I just crack up every time I see Braun just chasing someone like he's going to kill somebody. So we have the Symphony of Destruction match, which was, it was Braun just kicking the crap out of Elias. I mean, what is more entertaining about that? They just beat down on each other. Well, he beats more down on Elias. Elias tries to get the upper hand by raking the eyes like they did on him last week, but it did not work, as he did knock Elias into the the set of guitars, and then he goes to remove the leg from the piano. I mean, and then Braun tends to try to play the piano like this really crappy way, but just because of it's Braun, it was entertaining. I thought personally he was going to power slam Elias through the piano, but that didn't happen. He just crushed Elias with it, and he also took that big bass again and smashed down him as well, because he's young guys. It's all about that bass, no cello. Had to make that reference. But then he does pin Elias at pin a lateral press for the win, because he's Braun Strowman. And they take away Elias on a stretcher and cart him away. Let's see here. Let's see what what's there. Mania be better led. If it's not, I'll be pissed. It's still looking good so far, but I definitely have its worries. Why did WWE even bring back Jinder Mahal? I don't even understand it either. When he came back, I'm just like, okay. I do agree WWE is treating Nia bad. Nia should win the title at Mania and have a long title reign. What do you think of the pay-per-views being co-brand after Mania? I don't like it. Why have the shakeup or draft anyway if you're going to do that? I made a video about it recently. I mean, I think in some ways, yes, it could work in some ways, but at the same time, it's like, because if you have all these titles, you're going to be having like 4-hour pay-per-views all the time. It's not going to make the big events feel any special. That's why I feel they should at least merge titles. But also, if they still want to keep the brand split, that was one thing I mentioned also, that I've been a little bit disappointed about the brand split, that it hasn't really had any competition between the brands. Like, it could at least help that at least as well. But I do worry that this will eventually, and maybe like next year or so, cancel the brand split and whatnot. So yeah, but I definitely think it could be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing. Could this be seen as final Mania? It is highly possible, I think. But, we'll see what happens. But I'm not sure what could be left for Cena to do after this. I mean, if he's getting into a storyline like this, if he does face Taker at Mania, it probably should at least be a career versus career match. So one of them would definitely be walking away. Each pay-per-view will be 4 hours long. The big one's 5 hours long. She's going to make a video for her Fastlane predictions tomorrow. If you're interested, definitely, I will check it out, Lauren. Definitely. I should go live on YouTube one day just to learn how to do it. It definitely is not easy to figure out at first, but it's not too bad. Definitely give it a try. Follow her on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, definitely I will. I just don't know where to find you. Yeah, Tia Cooper are cracking up at me. I like the stream group. Yes, we are definitely a fun group. How you been, Mike and Tia and Coupon are not too bad. It could be a little bit better, but not too bad at all. Thank you for asking. Jinder took Rusev's spot and title reign. Oh my goodness. Hearing the fact that Rusev was supposed to be the guy to beat Randy Orton, the reason why Orton won the title was so that he could put over Rusev, and instead make it Jinder Mahal. Rusev deserved it, despite the fact, he just came off of a really bad feud with Enzo and Cass. I still thought he was ready. That U.S. title run, yes, the feud with him and Roman was pretty bad. He was at least brought back to life and put in a position where he could have been a champion. That's why I'm saying at this point, Rusev's just the newest Wade Barrett to me, in my opinion. He's ready to be a world champion, but they just won't give him that extra little push. It's like, just do it. What are you guys waiting for? Yeah, I heard rumors about Rey Mysterio getting injured at a live event. Rusev will be a tag team champion though at Mania. If that's the case, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of work, doing good. 40 hours a week. Yikes. I'm still not working 40 hours a week, but yeah, I definitely know it's good someday. But she thinks Cena has 2 years left, to be honest. Okay, that's fine. Instagram and Twitter names are the same on here. I will try to find you. Yeah, I'll definitely try to find you. Definitely. tomorrow after the stream. I'm going to bed. Well, definitely, it's 2:45 in the morning here. I got a doctor note to be off work for 2 days and trying to get rid of bronchitis. Ugh, yeah, yuck. Definitely get some rest from that, Lauren. I don't want to see you getting too sick from all of that. But anyways, let's get back to the review really quick here. We have Bray Wyatt taking on Rhino. He won the match just briefly just to put over Bray Wyatt. But then he calls out Matt Hardy. And then Matt Hardy just responded to him and saying how the Great War is far from over. And we're getting the match. It's going to be at the Hardy compound, and it's going to be an Ultimate Deletion match. So we're getting it at WrestleMania as expected. Yay! This is where this feud's finally been leading to. I mean, in some ways it was tough because Matt Hardy was directionless. Bray Wyatt needed something to do around the same time. But honestly, I don't think this feud had enough to really drag on for as long as it has for it now to finally get to that next level of the feud. Now it's somewhat at least interesting. I look forward to seeing what happened to it. Either way, I know one of these guys is going to come out of this feud probably looking like crap, but please have somebody benefit from it. Just don't have it end up like it did for Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt, as it almost ended with the Pumpkin Demon taking on Bray Wyatt in drag at TLC. I would not want to see anybody get sick, but if it wasn't for Bray Wyatt getting sick, we probably would have seen the worst match of the year at TLC last year between those two. That could have been a great feud, but did not go anywhere. Yeah, and then we had the Mizzies, the third annual Mizzies, I believe it was, and he was giving out several awards. He was Miz was upset. Of course, he didn't really get anything last night at the Oscars. 3 billboards should be outside New Orleans with Mrs. Face on it, showcasing the real site of WrestleMania. He's going to go ahead and take a page out of the book anyway. And the first category is Superstar. Best pat himself on the back. Nominees were Balor, Angle, and Rollins. And it's a tie. Balor and Rollins win, but they can't accept their awards because they weren't invited. And sorry about that, guys. Kurt Angle brought his next is the worst decision made by the Raw general manager. The nominees are Kurt Angle for bringing Jordan to Raw, and for letting Balor and Rollins into the Elimination Chamber, and for Kurt for failing to name a WrestleMania opponent for him. And so Kurt obviously wins that award, but Kurt can't accept it because he's too busy sucking up to Ronda Rousey. Don't worry though, they're having the award on your resume is very useful, and you're looking for a new job the day after WrestleMania. Miz takes a break for a Lifetime Achievement Award, a man who is the main event no matter where he is on WrestleMania card, and a man who is choosing to break out the victory as most Intercontinental Championship days as Intercontinental Champion. I'm getting tongue twisted. I'm starting to get tired here, guys. I'm sorry. But then Seth Rollins comes out. He apologizes. He was enjoying the Mizzies, but Milwaukee was begging somebody to hit the music to play him off. And then Balor came out, which I liked because it continues on me to build a post Seth Rollins and Finn Balor feud, where it's on Raw or SmackDown. Seth asks him what the deal with following him around is, and Balor says he's not following around. He's out here to do one better, and Miz will do one better than both of them. He put him in a 2-on-1 handicap last week. So why don't you, pretty much just take the same stuff and have the 3-on-2 handicap match against you two against the Miz, Tarash up. So it's like matches on. They have the match. Wasn't too bad of a match. It was pretty good. Just telling a story though, with the Miz, just again last week, I'm pretty much just calling Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, afterthoughts and whatnot. And even though, again, I would admit, yes, it was definitely kind of cold to have the Miz lose to 2 opponents, but same time, he called them both out pretty much, and just on how bad they are. So, with the Miz guy who runs his mouth, Kurt Angle been like, okay, you called these guys out, just go at it now and prove it to myself. So they have a match. Match was too bad. Towards the end, though, things start getting a little sticky between Balor and Rollins as Balor tagged himself in, and Rollins is kind of like, hey, what the heck was that for? And then towards the end of the match, we did have when Balor was about to hit the coup de grace, Rollins tagged himself in and hit the curb stomp on Miz to get the victory. And afterwards, he came out. Kurt Angle came out and made it official. We're going to get a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, which I think it'd be a pretty darn good opening match if this opens up the card at WrestleMania. As I said last year, it's probably probably in May, I'd say, after Payback. They had that #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship between these three. They put on a hell of a match. One of the best matches of the year last year, I'd say, in my opinion. So I definitely think this could be a great opener for WrestleMania 34 if they go with that. Let's check the live chat here really quick. I gotta get there. I got Mike late stream tonight. Wow, why so late? Again, I'm sorry. Again, I went out and visited some friends tonight. I didn't get to catch Raw. I didn't get to catch Raw tonight right away, so I was catching up late. And yes, it's 2:49 here as well. Takes a while to get rid of that. Oh, geez, I'm sorry you had that back in December. Tia Cooper, glad you're feeling better. I knew that. You're in Florida. I'll type in where I'm at. Feel better. I heard it can lead to pneumonia if bronchitis is it not taken care of. Yeah, Matt versus Bray is pretty necessary. AJ versus Nakamura should main event, but it'll probably Roman and Brock probably. I just sneezed. I'm not sick. I just did a random sneeze. Do you miss Nexus? Very underutilized. I mean, very underutilized stable. They should have been. They should have been definitely a lot better than they were. I definitely miss Wade Barrett. He should have been a lot more than they were. Heath is definitely funny. Yeah, the poor guy. He has kids, guys. Don't ruin him. I'll root for Rome because a world champion should be a full-time wrestler. I completely agree with that, TN Couponer. Do you like Triple H better as a boss or a wrestler? I like him better as a wrestler. Definitely a wrestler, but I think he does do a good job as definitely a heel authority figure as well. You like Stephanie better as a diva or a boss? Stephanie as a diva or a boss? I guess Stephanie wrestled too much, so maybe as a wrestler, I'm just glad they're starting to tone down her as a boss. I feel like she just did way too much, like the same things all the time. It kind of made me get sick of her. So I'm glad they kind of toned down how much for her on TV. Shane, a wrestler or a boss? Probably a boss at this point. Stephanie boss. And get back in the ring. Can't wait. Don't really like him as a GM anyways. It's understandable. I heard WWE will be on Fox. I've heard Raw being on Fox, SmackDown being on FS1. Yeah, why Disney? I don't get that at all. WWE contract with the USA Network runs out in 2019. Yes, that is true. Keep the stuff coming, guys. I'm still paying attention, but let's just wrap up this review here. But keep the stuff coming. I should probably get to bed soon. It's like almost 3 o'clock. Let's see here. Anyways, let's get to this final segment. Paul Heyman does his usual introduction, carrying the Universal title. He's here to speak on behalf of his client and set to record straight and lay the title down because Brock Lesnar lets him put hands on the title. Brock chooses to defend the title at SummerSlam. Paul will come out here and lay down the title again, and right now he'll lay the UFC heavyweight title down as well. Last week, Roman Reigns had a lot to say about the Beast. The biggest victory of Roman's career was last year at Mania when he beat The Undertaker. Props to him for doing so. One of the only men in history to do so. Did anybody bring up the fact that the Reigns beating Undertaker didn't mean anything because Taker only wrestles once a year, which is kind of true because why would it really mean that much if Taker already lost a streak? But because they did bring it up, though, it would be the same bull crap. Undertaker is the Undertaker 365 days a year, just like Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar 365 days a year. And this WrestleMania, Reigns isn't beating Lesnar. He's not taking the title away from him. And if Roman doesn't like what he's saying, then next week here on Raw, he can do something about it because Brock will be on Raw next week. He says the title belongs to Brock, and he's going to leave before turning back and saying that Roman came out here and called Lesnar a bitch last week. And he holds the title up and says that it's Brock's bitch and belongs to Brock. Roman is eyeballing Brock's bitch, and he can't have her. You don't have to pry the title from Lesnar's cold, dead hands if you have to pry it from his hot, competitive hands. Brock is a big boy, bigger than everyone else in his class, and he always wanted to be number one. Pretty much just sticking up for whatever what Roman ripped on about him last week, and then pretty much just like the long story short, he said the next week Brock will be here and Roman can say whatever he likes to his face because he comes out and he wants to shoot on Heyman and not the Universal Champion. Pretty much going to respond to what Roman said last week, shooting on Brock for not showing up. And then Roman came out, and then Paul picks up the title and holds it close as Roman grabs the mic. He says this is what he's talking about, and he said a lot of things last week, some of which were harsh, but all of them were true. And what does Brock do? He sends Heyman to give his rebuttal. Brock really is one, isn't he? He says that the boys aren't asking for much. They want the champ to show up to work, but that's not it. They also want Brock to actually be here. So he's going to keep it real simple. Lesnar's going to be in Detroit next week, and that means so will he. So he wants Paul to tell Brock to not come dressed for a promo segment. He needs to come dressed for a fight. Yeah, again, as I said in my video I posted about Roman over the weekend, I understand again. Roman being thrown into a position yet again that they would rather see somebody else in. But I give credit that this at least is a better build already with, Roman shooting on Brock for his contract and whatnot, which is kind of true because as I said before, no offense. I mean, Brock has definitely had a great run here. But I definitely kind of soured on him recently. And I definitely agree also that I would much rather see a world title on a full-time roster than a part-timer and make it feel a little bit more relevant again. So I personally probably will be rooting for Roman to win a title as well. So, I mean, I thought this promo was, not really one of Heyman's greatest, but to me, it was just simple and to the point, whatever. Next week, Brock better show up because Reigns is ready to, teach him a lesson as well. So, yeah, that's all I got pretty much to say about that. Let's go here. Let's get up here. Is it cold though? Yeah, it's like it's had its warm peaks recently, but it's probably not been like the 40s up here lately. They have 1 year left. Hopefully, it does get renewed. I know you're off tomorrow. I'm working from home tomorrow, as I do. She's not going to root for either Brock or Roman. It's understandable. Finn, okay. Stephanie and Triple H and AJ. So far, I'll eat UK work wide tomorrow. When more matches are made, work second shift 3 to 11, unless overtime. Then it's 2:30. Yikes! I couldn't work till 2:30 a.m. What do you think about this year's Hall of Fame class? It started off good, but definitely kind of soured down it recently. It's not really been, one of the strongest, in my opinion. But whatever. I'm all right with Goldberg and the Dudley Boys getting in there and Ivory, but Jeff Jarrett and then Hillbilly Jim, like, all right. Hopefully it does pick up a little bit of the Hall of Fame class. All good about work. Do you know why Brock wasn't at Raw these past 2 weeks? Not sure at all. WWE Hall of Fame class like Goldberg and at Dudley's. I work lots of hours too. Never home really. Only 2 days. I'm a homebody. Don't like to go out much, to be honest. I don't like the Hall. China should definitely be in there. I don't know why they're just waiting on getting her in there for a wrestler, but why Roman? Yeah, I understand why Roman again, but at this point, it's like I agree. Roman is at least in my opinion improved. I think himself has done his best to improve as well. They just keep giving these opportunities. So at this point, I'm like whatever. I'm just appreciating that Roman still is to me a decent talent. So if he wins, cool. But yeah, he doesn't really need this again. Let's see here. To win the Battle Royal. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I've heard the rumors about Goldberg winning the Battle Royal. I wouldn't mind seeing it either. She never really liked Lesnar anyways. Goldberg's retired. Oh, you're going to bed. Yeah, I definitely should probably get off too and crash. I'll definitely we'll follow you on both those accounts, Lauren. Thank you for leaving them. She gave Raw a C plus. Night Booze, yeah, definitely feel a lot better, Lauren. I hope you do. And Tia Couponer, good luck with work also as well. Well, both of you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this is a very late stream. Again, sorry, I just wanted to go out and visit some friends tonight just to clear my head because it's been, stuff I've been trying to figure out with the beginning of this year, but all still good. But guys, thank you as always for the supports. And I'm sorry I'm kind of sounding monotone, but I really gotta get to sleep. I'm tired. But guys, yeah, thanks again for tuning in to this live review. Let me check Twitter really quick here. Nobody answered to my Twitter polls. That is completely fine. But I gave to yes, I did have fun tonight. But yeah, I gave Raw a B plus in my opinion. Very strong show, very interesting, very intrigued for WrestleMania as well. But I will be back up here live for sure tomorrow night for SmackDown. So what grade would you guys give tonight's episode of Raw? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Just click my like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. Talk for about an hour. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna check out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for my SmackDown live review. And I'll be live also for NXT Road to WrestleMania episode 27 this week, and also top 10 topics for leading the Fast Lane as well. And if I do get to watch Fast Lane Sunday, I do a family event this Sunday, I'll probably do a live review for Fast Lane as well. Even though I don't have the highest expectations, but I'll give it a chance to see what happens. So, guys, thanks again for tuning in, especially to Tia and Coupar and Lauren. You guys are always awesome. I love talking with you guys. And, yep, again, subscribe, like the video, follow me on Twitter, DemandAirborne93. I'll check out later. Until then, guys, have a good night.